Hello again, everyone. This is Randy, your sewing machine man, and it's Bernina Day at your neighborhood sewing machine repair place. And this is a Bernina 850, Bernina Industrie. This is straight from Switzerland. This goes in an industrial stand with an industrial motor. It's a high-speed zigzag. And it has the bobbin case. I told you about some that load from the back. You know, there's top load, front load, side load, and the rare occasions there's a back load. The bobbin case snaps in from the rear, believe it or not. Pretty wild, but it still threads front to back with a standard 16x231 needle, not a 15 class, but a 16x231. You know, it's an odd needle, but it's what the industrials take. So it is an industrial. It's got a occasional nylon gear here and there I'm not a big fan of, but it's a good machine, and the crazy thing works like a charm. So the folks, when they make these nylon gears in Switzerland, they put a secret formula in there that they don't break too often. I've seen a couple in the household ones, like the 830s in the top. There's one up there that cracks. Usually it's cracked because it's defective. You know, it didn't cool properly before they inserted, all that crazy stuff. Same kind of stuff they're having now with the Honda lawnmowers, but on a much larger scale. But here's a machine that, you know, I rig up these. I don't have a power stand for this particular size. It's a household size, but an industrial setup. So I have to make my motor and belt and everything for it. And it's a little bit quieter than this because it's my motor back there, my motor and belt setup that's whining. But what's interesting about this machine is that the lady took it to her dealer in a nearby town way out in West Texas, and I won't give the town because I don't want to throw this person under the bus. She was told that you don't want that old thing, you can't get parts for those anymore. It was locked up. You know, they're always locked up for one reason or the other. This was a very simple thing. It had a little piece of thread stuck in the hook assembly, and talking to the sweet lady that I talked to, her son, who is a real nice fellow, he's a good son. He loaded the machine up and drove it, I don't know, Amarillo to here, I don't know, 5 hours. I don't know, it's a long ride, because the fellow up there said he didn't want to mess with it. He wanted to sell her another one. You know, that's all well and good, but when I tell people I fix more Berninas than a lot of these Bernina dealers, it's because they don't want to fix them. I'm in the fixing business, they're in the selling business, so they're not going to fix one for you. I may fix 10 in a week, 20 in a week, 30 in a week. Their numbers in single digits or even closer to zero because of nonsense like this. Telling the lady that a machine of this quality and this stature, this precision, isn't worth having because it's old, you can't get parts for it, you don't want it. No, that's wrong information. There was nothing broke on it. There's nothing that needs to be replaced, so why does a parts discussion come in? You know, unavailability of parts. And I would venture to say that there are parts for this machine that if they were to be needing to be replaced, that I could get them, because it's not that big of a deal. But if you have no willingness, and that's where it gets into now. People bringing me machines left and right, and they were told they couldn't be fixed, weren't worth fixing, and you just need to buy another one. And those are my favorite ones to fix because I get to tell this story. But here's what's going on. Grandpa built a business, grandpa or dad built a business, and these are the guys, anything that come in the door, they were going to make money out of it. They were not going to send anybody away. They were going to figure out a way to fix it. That's why I've been doing it for 51 years. Something comes to me, I'm going to figure out a way to fix it if it's fixable. Sometimes they're not. But you just don't go, you don't want that old thing. When anybody says you don't want that old thing, take your machine up, walk out the door, and don't ever go back and ask them what time it is. You might get the wrong answer. Those people aren't looking out for you. You know, first of the month is tomorrow. Today's the 30th of April. First of the month's tomorrow. Why would you want to fix a sewing machine for $100 when you can sell them a new one for $1,500? That's the way they look at it. That's their business model, not mine. So I imagine this guy's dad or grandpa would have fixed it for her, probably fixed it while she waited, because, you know, I go through it A to Z, but the problem itself of the thread being stuck down there took me about 15 minutes to clear out. Then I had to set the timing, a few other things to make sure everything's fine, set the thread gap, and make sure everything works fine, which it does. And thought, well, while I had it here, I'd show you a couple of things about it. It's very similar to the 830, which you know is my favorite Bernina. And if you flip the top up here, let me take this belt off here, my little makeshift motor setup over here. You flip the top up on it and you look down inside, and if nobody told you it wasn't an 830, you go, hey, that's an 830. So a little different setup over here on the drive gear, and you see a nylon gear there. If you can see it in the camera, make sure I can see it. If I see it myself, then maybe you can see it. There it is back there. Let's drop the machine. There it is right there. That's a nylon gear. Let's get a little bit closer if we can. Nylon, that's a nylon gear. Very robust, works like a charm. Steel gear, driving a nylon gear. Over here's a nylon gear for your pattern driver. And then underneath, where your timing set is, let me turn it around here and flip it up so you can see underneath with the timing. Underneath, let's roll this down. Here's a setup underneath here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws on this. You take that off, and inside there, that's just a area that has a bunch of take-ups and drivers, and it's all steel in there. The only other nylon gear is down here where you set the timing gear. And you'll notice there's an absolute, almost identical gear driving it. It's made out of steel, hardened steel, driving in nylon. Well, it's working. So somebody in Switzerland's smarter than me, because it's still working and it's not a problem. So I don't know, maybe they got a secret formula in their gears. They seem to do better than the Singers and the Brothers and the Genomes and what have you. But this is an industrial machine. It says right on it, industrial. It's an industrial needle, industrial hook, industrial bobbin case, and she's using it in an industrial setting. There's this bobbin case under here. I'll show this. Got kind of a clever setup on it too. Let me show this to you, because it's kind of cool. Get a little light on the subject. Lift this up, bring this over. Bear with me, because this is cool enough to look at, so I'm going to show it to you. We put it on its peg, bring it around, and bring it up. And you look from the back side here. There it is. There's the hook assembly. And it's not facing to the front. It's facing to the back. And the bobbin case snaps in from the back. And that's the coolest thing ever. There's your position bracket. A lot of the machines is from the front. If you look at an old black Singer 107 zigzag or hem stitch that they use in factory production, the old black ones, it's the exact same setup. I'm not sure that the bobbin cases wouldn't interchange. I know the hooks wouldn't, because they're different, but it's the same basic setup. I don't know if Bernina got it from Singer or Singer got it from Bernina, but they probably happened at about the same time. I know the old black Singers have been around for many, many years. So we're going to get this back to this lady's son, and he's going to take it back up to the panhandle and get it back to her, and she's going to be very happy, because here's a machine that she was told couldn't be fixed, it wasn't worth fooling with, and she's going to be sewing on it tomorrow. And to me, that's the best outcome ever, and I'm thinking she's going to agree. And another kudos to her son, because good sons do stuff like that for their moms. Good for you. Bernina 850 industrial. Thanks.